Hey everybody, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Vonnie, and in today's video I want to talk about the relationship problems that we have had with narcissists. Some people I know are still in relationships with narcissists, or still healing from the relationships. So just thinking back about it, they're very hard relationships. Don't get it twisted. The relationships with narcissists are very, very difficult relationships. It's a lot of things that are going on, right? It's very hard for them to let other people love them, because they don't really love themselves. They're completely too selfish, and they need more attention than anybody will ever be able to give to them. They need lots and lots and lots of attention. Nobody's built to give anybody that much attention and admiration that narcissists need. They tend to do a lot of talking, because in all of that talking, all of that conversation, is a lot of manipulation, a lot of lies, a lot of controlling, even how you think. They like to control how you think and how you feel. And it's just a lot of deceit. So narcissists tend to do a lot of talking to get their victims to the point where they're completely under their control. So they do all the talking and you do all the listening, unless they are getting some personal information from you. And we all know when they do this, they're going to use it against you in the future. So that's the only time that they're not really talking, things like that, is if they're getting that type of information from you. So one thing about it, I know that in those type of relationships, we all have to take the advice and the criticism from the narcissist about our people, our life, our lifestyles, education, our preferences, even the things that we like to do, even the people that we're connected to, as far as our family and friends and, classmates, co-workers. They have a strong opinion about everybody or everything that's a part of that control and that manipulation. They seem to have a motive behind the reason why they like to criticize everything in your life. And we know what that is. They want to kind of separate you from, your connections, so they can have more control and more power. So at the same time, when you try to give them advice, because they do have a lot of issues, they do have a lot of things going on with them, right? They may have issues with their mothers or their fathers, can't keep a job, whatever the issues are. When you try to give them advice, sometimes they completely shut it down and make you feel so small. They don't want to hear it. They are super sensitive to criticisms. And I always think that's really interesting, how sensitive they are to being criticized. It's like we will all be criticized and we'll all be judged in some way, but we all have things that we can work on to make ourselves better, or to do better in our lives, in our personal lives. But for narcissists to sit there and tell you all of these things that they see wrong with you, all of these things, any little thing that they see wrong with you, could be something as small as the way you cook your meals, or it could be something about your personality. They may think that you're a pushover, you don't speak up loud enough, or stand up for yourself. Whatever it is, you have to take that. But when you tell them something like, oh, why is it that you can't keep a job, or you ask them something like that, oh, they will completely control the outcome of the argument and flip it around in a million different ways. They are flip artists. So super sensitive to criticisms. And another thing with them, in regards to relationships, they tell a lot of little lies, and it's so much shady behavior that, you'll keep seeing, and eventually we lose that trust in them. Relationships are built on trust and honesty, and they're supposed to be built on trust and honesty. Sorry, supposed to be, but this is not what you get from that type of relationship. So you eventually end up losing a lot of trust, and it obviously kicks in at some point that you can't trust this person because of all the lies, and then the cheating, and then there's more lies, and more manipulative behaviors from they keep on lying. They want to defend their bad actions. They always have some type of excuse, some type of way to flip it, some type of way to control, the outcome or the way that you think, and then they'll throw that charm in there, start charming you so you can, so they can lessen the outcome of whatever your reaction will be. They really are really, I don't want to give them too much credit, but they are really good at trying to lessen the outcome of things. So that's why they lie and they charm you. They don't want you to be that hard on them, and at some point, at some time, you're going to wake up and you're going to feel like used and taken advantage of, for your resources and your money, whatever it was that, we all know narcissists are users. They use people for so many different things. It doesn't even have to be money per se. It could be so many things. I know you all can probably think about what they really used you for. Let me know in the comments below, what do you feel like they used you for? Because I've heard all these type of things that they use people for. Whether it's your youth, maybe they I always make videos like that. Maybe they just so happen to have a preference for younger people for that attention and that admiration they're gonna get from other men, and that validation to feel like, oh, they can get any type of, younger girl they want, or, that type of thing, how men like to brag and flaunt, their ladies around. So it could have been for something like that. It could be millions of things that narcissists could use people for. So, at some point it'll hit you that nobody else is going to put up with this type of behavior. You'll be thinking about it like, wait a minute. I know for a fact I put up with way too much. I don't deserve this. And not too many people are going to put up with this type of behavior. It's so toxic and, toxic behavior, and they're emotionally unavailable. You are going to feel like you need, a need to be emotionally connected to your partner, which we all want that, but they are emotionally unavailable about and being there for you. You end up yearning for friendships again if they pulled you away from your friendships or destroyed relationships with your friendships and your family members. You end up yearning for healthy connections again, So you'll end up being at home crying while they're out at night doing, God knows what, crying, being confused. They cause a lot of confusion if you don't, really know what narcissism is. A lot of us didn't know while we were in a relationship with one. You end up crying, being confused because of all that blame shifting. Like everything is always your fault. And you just don't understand, get it, and they're always going to project their actions into you, So what ended up happening down the line with time, you end up finding out more about them, about their history and their past relationships. Sometimes that stuff come up, other partners will come out the blue. Sometimes they'll reach out, and let you know what they've dealt with. And sometimes they may even have some type of criminal activity with them, or you end up just finding out all of these things, all of these secrets, and then you reflect and you think about it. Wait, I'm dealing with verbal, emotional, and physical mistreatment. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve all this. It makes you, that type of treatment makes you feel empty, alone, and very frustrated. So the whole relationship as a whole is just toxic and unhealthy, because it's always conflict, it's always drama. And eventually you have no choice but to end a relationship. Or if you stay in it, you're going to realize how unhappy and miserable you are. So those are the problems that from my experience, and from what I've been told about a lot of narcissistic relationships. They're very similar, and a lot of people have dealt with very similar things. So tell me, guys, what you think about this video. Comment down below, and send me a comment, like this video, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.